Zoey, my friend, great to see you again.
So great to see you. How are you? How have you been?
I've been okay, staying busy with great films like Not Okay. I've known you for many years. We've talked over the various projects, and I was going to ask you this question later, but I'm going to open with it. This character is so emotionally charged. There are so many layers and levels. I love this film.
Thank you.
I want to know, and as I was watching you in this amazing role, I'm thinking to myself, how emotional and how challenging was this for you? Because there is a lot going on with Danny, your character.
Well, thank you. Look, I think I have a very different relationship to Danny now than I did when I was shooting her. And I think when I finished the movie, I just didn't feel in my body. I felt very out of sorts and uncomfortable. And I think with a little bit of time and a little bit of foresight, I think I was able to realize that I was uncomfortable while shooting the movie because Danny is uncomfortable. She's constantly in a state of discomfort and she's lying and she has this big secret and and she feels like she doesn't get it and she's just constantly uncomfortable. So I felt uncomfortable as a result of that. So that was the challenging part, but also it's a great part. It's a fun part. So I really enjoyed it. But accessing embarrassment is not that's not the easiest thing for me. So that was challenging.
Well, I'll give you a compliment. I actually watched this movie with my mom. She's seen our interviews over the years, and she looked at me, and it was only a mom would say, she goes, "That's your friend." And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, roles like, why him and things like that. She goes, "Look what she's done."
Oh.
She goes, "This is a completely different character." And that's what made me think about that. I'm like, yeah, Zoey just completely brought it.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, so you got mom approval.
Oh, that's what matters to me. So I love that.
That's so awesome. I will definitely tell her. Did you? I follow you on Instagram, and this is not a story about social media is evil. That's the way I interpret it. But how does it make you think about social media posting? I mean, I'm online as well, and I share pretty much most of my life, living in the public eye myself. Did this story make you kind of reflect on that?
What's interesting, I've been asked a lot, did it make you use social media less and but I actually feel like it's made me use it more because we were so, with all the research and all the obsessing over, certain niche parts of, the internet and culture, whatever, I spent more time on my phone, which is kind of ironic. It definitely made me, of course, it made me think a lot about what we put out into the world and perception versus reality and all that stuff. But, the only time the time that I spend the least on my phone is on set. I do not bring my phone to set. So it's funny, like I'll find myself and I'll know that I'm so addicted to my phone when it's lunchtime, I run to my trailer to get my phone, to get my fix. But yeah.
Good to see you.
Dylan! What's up, brother? Good to see you again, man.
How are you?
I'm excited, bro. We got to talk about Colin, your character in this.
I think we are required to. Yeah.
Well, it's just because, I've known you for several years and I see this character and I'm like, how did Dylan become Colin? I've got theories, but tell me how you became Colin.
Well, I mean, pretty easily. It was just it was there on the page, and Quinn is really, really cool in terms of just allowing you, from the first times that we were even texting about it, I was sending her videos of me talking or voice memos and seeing if she was cool with just where I was going, and she was just yes, dial up everything, do anything you want, basically. So I was really it started from a place of just being given permission, which is such a wonderful thing to be given from your director. And then you can kind of just go and have fun with it. And then we had an amazing team too. The costume design and the makeup, my tats, all of it is just, was incredible. So it was so easy to then just sort of slip into all that.
I was going to ask about the costumes, his outfits. I like Colin. Don't get me wrong.
Yo,
I like
thanks.
the dude. Dude, seriously, would you hang out with Colin in real life?
I really wonder. I probably would. Like I probably would have like a funny night with him, like where I was like, oh yeah, I actually like met that dude one time at like this party. He was kind of a trip, and we had this really random night. I could see that. Let's go with that.
I feel like if you, me, and Colin were hanging out, we would either end up in some remote Pacific island, or in jail. I don't know.
Yo, it'd be dangerous. Watch out.
Hey, how did this story make you think? Obviously, there's the social media. I'm a loyal Twitter follower of yours, but it kind of made me think, about I'm in the public eye. And it kind of made me think, you got to really think about what you post, what you share. I mean, I don't hate social media because of this movie. Don't get me wrong on that either. But
yeah, for sure.
Did this story, for sure. But did it make you think more about stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's made me sort of like process it all, I guess, like, in a way. Because like I think about these things all the time just because it's, such a part of our world. And, and I have to have it for my job, and sort of have to sort of engage with it like professionally in a way, and then sort of then choose to engage in it personally in different ways, and so I mean, it's definitely on my mind, I'd say, quite often, but I feel like doing this and particularly like talking it out with like you guys on this, you know what I mean, like this week, like being asked questions and it sort of has like helped me process in a lot of ways in terms of my relationship to it, and however kind of evolving that is, and I think will remain to be,
Have to ask about Zoey Deutch. Obviously, we all talked at the outfit earlier in the year. You worked together on that one. You worked together on this one. What was it like to get to work with her again?
The best. I love her. She's like, truly just, just a really, really special person. She's like got a really amazing heart. She's viciously smart. She's really, really quick. She gets a lot done all the time. She like runs the show, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, Zoe's a boss, and obsessed with her. She's the best.
There you go. Dylan, my brother, it is great to see you again. Please
too.
Stay safe in person next time. Seriously, dude, great catching up with you again, man.
Thanks. You too. You too. Yeah, stay safe.
Quinn, first of all, great to meet you. And number two, I feel like I should share this with you. Everybody that's talked with you today has gone back to hospitality and is screaming how awesome you are. I just think,
God.
Everybody
panicking.
Everybody is coming back and says, oh, I love Quinn. I love Quinn. I'm like, I want to go on that ride. So here I am. And we get to talk about.
You're bringing the best energy right now. I love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, I love this film. Wow. Talk about a rabbit hole. It's still with me. It's still in my mind. I watched this with my mom, who's listening to our right. And she's seen me interview Zoey in the years past. She's like, oh, that's your friend. I'm like, yeah, look at Zoey right now. Where did this start for you? Because this is just genius. And we're going to break down the social media stuff here in a minute. But where did this story begin for you?
I wrote the script in 2018. I mean, obviously I've revised it since, but it's been strangely like one of those scripts that you write and you're like, it'll never be relevant in a year. And it just becomes more relevant every year. And honestly, I wrote it as like a self-therapy in reaction to what was going on in the world, what was going on in the country, like getting online every day and seeing the mashup of like horrible news next to like vacation photos and ads. And it was like such a bizarre space to exist in where both of those things were given equal coverage and you just consume them both in the 10 seconds that you're scrolling on your phone. And so I honestly wanted to make a movie that captured that feeling, a movie that could have like absurd consumerism and like real intensity and talk about real life things like all in one story. So that's sort of where the concept came from.
I wasn't mad at social media. Okay. This didn't make me feel like, oh, I hate social media, but it did make me think about, and I follow you on Instagram. I follow Zoey as well. And it made me think about like, and I'm in the public eye. So I'm like, made me think more about what I share, what I post, the meaning behind it. I'm not one of those like, oh, look at me, I'm screaming for attention. I don't like that. But is that kind of where you went with this particular film?
I mean, I'm with you. I don't think the film is intended to make people hate social media or think that their phone's the problem. If anything, I think, you know, our phones are just a sounding board for like the societal and political things we're all experiencing on a daily basis. It's just a magnifying glass for all of it. So for me, it's more just about being like skeptical of and questioning what you're consuming more so than it is being like, you shouldn't do this. If anything, this movie has made me more online, which is funny. Everyone's like, what, did you delete Instagram now? And I'm like, no, I just last night I asked my social media manager how to make a Gen Z post. Like, I've become Danny. This is the
Right after I saw this movie, I went straight to Instagram to make sure you were still online, honestly, because I followed you for a while. I was like, she better still be there. All right, final question, and it's a fun one. Would you hang out with Danny, Zoey's character in this film? If Danny were like real life, would you hang out with Danny?
Absolutely not. I might hang out with Danny to get material for a script and then go home and be like, this girl. But I could not. No, I would hang out with Rowan. I love Rowan. I would hang out with Harper. She's cute, but
you're awesome.
Debatable on Colin, but
that's true. People now are going like, what are they talking about? You have to go see the movie now. Quinn, thank you for your time today. Keep making movies and keep starring, because I want to talk to you again. I love your energy, and you're my new bestie. Okay, can I call you that?
Thank you. This was so fun.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Bye.